No, I am constantly looking for a way to increase my protein intake. I'm coming to understand how important and vital it is for healthy aging. So cottage cheese is one of the things that I go to when I want to add more protein to my diet, especially because you can have it savory or you can have it sweet. So today I thought we would compare 3 different brands of cottage cheese. I've heard all the rage about the Good Culture. So I wanted to try that. Sometimes when I go to the store, it's actually out of stock. I found this one at Sprouts. Then I just got the regular Lucerne brand that you buy at Vaughn's or Pavilions. And this is the low fat. These are all, by the way, are low fat. This is 1%, this is 2%. And this Daisy cottage cheese was the other brand that I thought we could test because it's also readily available. And this one also happens to be the 2%, so it's also low fat. They're each 90 calories a piece per serving, and I do believe that the serving for all of these is half a cup, but let me just make sure. Half a cup, this is half a cup, and this one is also half a cup. They're all 90 calories each. The 1% is 1.5 grams of fat. This one is 2.5 grams of fat per serving, and this one is 2 grams of fat per serving. This one has, the Lucerne has 12 grams of protein. The Daisy has 13 grams of protein. And finally, the Good Culture has 14 grams. So if you're looking for the biggest bang for your buck in terms of protein intake, this would be it. Now, let's start off by looking at the texture of the cottage cheese. And as you can see, this one I'm almost done with. But when I bought this one, it looked a little bit like this one. This is the Lucerne brand, by the way. This one happens to be the Daisy brand. And as you can see, this one looks a little bit watery. And that's kind of almost my peeve against Daisy and why it's not my favorite. It looks like there's a lot of, I don't want to say watery, I should say runny. Like there's a lot of milk consistency in there, so it looks a little bit runny for me. Then we're gonna take a look at the Good Culture. And here's what that one looks like. This one is thicker, as you can see. There is no runny, there's not a lot of excess milk. It's pretty thick to taste. So let's go ahead and give them a try. I've already tried the Daisy and the Lucerne because these are ones that I buy on a pretty regular basis. The Good Culture has been difficult to find, so this will be my first time ever having it. So are you guys ready? Let's do this. All right, here we go. By the way, just a quick note, this is a Lucerne. Look how runny this one is. Falls off the spoon. That's what I mean by milky or runny. So let's taste it. It's good, it's very mild. You can taste a little hint of salt, but by and large, it's a little bit like thin in terms of the consistency, but I like the texture. Here's the Daisy one, look at this one, ready? Look how runny this one is. Again, runny. But what about the flavor? Again, milky. The curd has really good texture, so if you like that bite in the curd, you're gonna get that with the Daisy one. It has a hint of salt, but I don't think nearly as much salt as the Lucerne. All right, now we are going to try the Good Culture. All right, let's take a look at the Culture texture and consistency. Here's the Good Culture. This one is thicker. It is gonna run off, but not nearly as fast. What about the taste? All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. The curd itself is very tender. It doesn't have the chewiness of either the Daisy or the Lucerne, and I feel like it has less salt, which is not a bad thing, especially if you're low sodium. But to my palate, I don't taste quite as much salt. And it is definitely thicker in terms of the flavor and the
sodium
texture
intake.
that I did want to tell you what the sodium numbers are. So for the Lucerne, we're looking at 460 grams of sodium. For the Daisy cottage cheese, we're looking at 330 grams of sodium. And for the Good Culture, 380. So if you're watching your sodium intake, then Daisy is probably going to be the winner with 380 grams. And that's about it. So now that we've learned what macros are in cottage cheese and why it's such a good source of protein to add to your diet, I thought we would make a simple recipe. This is going to be a wrap. You can use it either savory or you can use it sweet. I will be using it savory. So it's simple. 2 ingredients. It is cottage cheese and egg whites. So you're gonna start by lining your cookie sheet with parchment paper and make sure that it is parchment paper, not wax paper. I speak from experience. I've made that mistake. Next, you are going to shake your egg whites well, because it says shake well. Otherwise they'll separate, so you definitely want to make sure that you shake them. And I'm going to measure out 3 tablespoons into my stand mixer. That's 2. And that is 3. Gonna pop it in there. Then you're gonna lock this down. You're gonna flip it on. To about medium speed for 3 to 5 minutes. You'll increase about halfway through until they form hard peaks. Now I'm gonna measure out half a cup of cottage cheese. I'm gonna put it back into the container and then I'm gonna mash it up with a fork. The reason why I wanna stick to the half cup of cottage cheese is because I know that a serving of cottage cheese has 14 grams of protein, plus the 3 tablespoons of egg whites is 5 grams of protein. So altogether, this wrap is going to give me 19 grams of protein, which is amazing. So I just bumped up the speed on my egg whites to max, and while that continues to form the peaks, I'm gonna go ahead and start mashing up the cottage cheese. Is I'm going to add the cottage cheese into remember, that's half a cup. This is what we call folding and not stirring, because when you stir, you can sometimes break up the air bubbles that keep the egg yolks fluffy and spongy like this. So this is it. Just a couple of quick turns. And now we are done. Okay, so now that the cottage cheese and the eggs are folded together, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spread it on my cookie sheet. Then I'm gonna bake it at 350 for 25 to maybe 30 minutes if necessary. I don't think it'll be that long because I'm not gonna make this super thick, but it could take that long. Okay, I think that's even Steven. Get a little bit more there. And that's it. It's going in the oven. That's it, easy as that. I'm gonna set my timer for 25 minutes. I'm going to clean up in the meantime, and hopefully we will have a beautiful golden wrap. Here we go. And there it is, 20 minutes. About 22, 23 minutes. Look how beautiful that is. That's what it looks like. Okay, so here we are. It's the moment of truth. Let's very light, as you can see. Very delicate. Well, I'm just gonna peel it off. Oh, I think I might have spread it too thin. Oh yeah. I should have probably sprayed it. Let's see. Oh yeah. I should have sprayed it. I forgot to spray it. Ah, darn. All right, this is what turned out. All right, so not all recipes are gonna be 100%. And that's okay, you know what? I'll figure out something else to do with this, but I'm not gonna waste it, because remember, it's 19 grams of protein, and I am looking to get as many protein grams as I possibly can. But yeah, next time, spray it with olive oil. So clearly, this was a bust. It was a bit of a bust. I'm not gonna say it was a complete bust. It was a little bust. All right, this did not work out quite as I planned, but you can see that some of it did hold together okay. I just needed to spray my parchment paper. I'm still gonna eat that. You know how I'm gonna eat that? I'm gonna eat that with my salad. I'm gonna make that the bed. In fact, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with it. I'm gonna put this on the bottom of my plate. It's 19 grams of protein. I am not gonna waste it. I don't believe in wasting food. I think it's sinful, especially when people are going hungry. So I am going to put this on the bottom of my plate. Then I'm going to add my greens. That, by the way, these are still from my garden. If any of you guys have been following my farm stand, yeah, those are still from my garden. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna top it with a little chicken breast. These are chicken strips that my husband breaded, and I don't eat breading, but he does. And since he cooked, I need to just enjoy it and be grateful. Scrape the breading off, because it's what a practical girl does. And that's it. I'm gonna put a little bit of dressing, probably a little bit of Frank's Red Hot. It's gonna be so good. So I have some Frank's Red Hot. I have a little bit of ranch. I'm gonna put the ranch in a little dish, because I need to monitor how much of the ranch I have. Because remember, ranch is very fatty. And what I'm trying to do right now is get as much protein as I possibly can and be very particular about the kinds of fats that I put in my body. So this is it. I'm gonna dig into it. Oh, I forgot a fork. Okay, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna start with the actual egg part, because I'm dying to try that, right? Try that. The little piece of lettuce. And I'm gonna cut myself a bite of chicken. Put a little Red Hot. Maybe a lot of Red Hot. I'm gonna give it a small dip into the ranch, because remember, that's what I want the least of, just enough to balance the Red Hot. And here it goes. The egg is very light. The cottage cheese gives it a little texture, and more importantly, a little salt without having to add salt. Anyway, despite the fact it didn't look right, I think I'm gonna keep trying this recipe until I get it right.